back to the show. Welcome back, everybody, from award shows to game shows to TV reunions. Girl, I got to ask about a couple. Our guest today has done it all, has seen it all. Producer extraordinaire Michael Levitt is an accomplished television producer who's worked with, you name it, he's worked with them. But listen to this. More recently, he has found a ginormous audience on social media because Michael shares videos dishing about his time producing some of your favorite shows and revealing who's naughty and who's not so nice behind the scenes. And we're here for it. Audience, give it up for Michael Levitt, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Hello, Jason.
Hi, Michael. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm coming to you from sunny Palm Springs, California, and I love your show and couldn't be more thrilled to be here today.
Michael, if you hear the audience booing, they're not booing you. They're booing the fact that it's negative 47 here.
Okay. My apologies. I'm so sorry. It's really, really hot here.
Okay, Michael, it's so funny when you were booked because I've become obsessed with you. I obviously, because I'm a TV nerd, I've known about you for years. Let me start with this.
Sure.
My favorite shows are Dallas and Knots Landing. Like, as I die in the nursing home, I want the nurse to put Dallas on as I'm dying. So, you produced the Dallas reunion in 2004. And can you give a quick, because you got to go to Michael's TikTok for the full story. You had a little problem with Victoria. The production had a little issue with Victoria, right? Victoria Principal, who played Pam on the show.
Yes, we did. So I was fortunate enough to be producing partners with the nicest man in show business, Henry Winkler. And Henry and I were approached by Charlene Tilton about the possibility of doing this reunion. So the three of us went to CBS and they loved the idea, but their only caveat was that we had to get the entire cast. And Victoria, to that point, had not ever agreed to do anything Dallas related after she left the show. But because of Henry and Charlene, she said yes, so it was a really big deal. So one day, about a week before we were leaving for South Fork to film the reunion, Victoria called for Henry. And Henry and I shared this wonderful assistant named, well, he wasn't a wonderful assistant, but he's the most wonderful person. He was, his name is Zach. He's still a dear family friend. But you'll see why I say that. He took the call and she asked for Henry, and he said, let me see if I can get Henry for you. And he thought he put her on hold, and he calls Henry, who's in the car. Now, Henry never liked to do business calls from the car because he's driving. So when Henry answered and Zach said, I have Victoria Principal for you, he said, tell her I'm not available. But he meant, tell her I'm not available, I'm gonna call her later. So Zach comes back to Victoria, says, Henry is not available, he'll call you back. And you hear complete silence. And Victoria says, Zach, I'm not mad at you, but this is a really teachable moment for you. When you answer the phone, you want to make sure you're putting the other, when you're conferencing with your boss, you want to make sure you're putting the other person on hold, because I heard everything you said to Henry. I'm not mad. And Zach's sweating and he goes, thank you for understanding. I understand. Goodbye. Well, cut to a few hours later, we get a call from Victoria's rep saying, unfortunately, she's no longer available to be part of the reunion. However, Henry called her, explained exactly what he meant by that. It was a complete misunderstanding. Victoria was super cool about it. She was back in, the reunion was on, it was spectacular. Victoria was amazing, so much fun, and it was the memory of a lifetime for me.
I'll ask my Knots question a little bit later, but
sure.
You also produced, which I think, I'm not just saying this because you're my guest, I think one of the best versions of Hollywood Squares. You did it with Henry, and you got to tell the story. Carol Channing, did she fall asleep?
He did. I have to tell you. Henry and I produced Hollywood Squares. This was the post-Whoopi era. and we had a different take on the show. We rotated our center squares. So we had everybody from Ellen DeGeneres to Alec Baldwin to Dame Edna, Pam Anderson in center squares. We were known for our theme weeks, but some of my greatest memories are from that show. One of them being that in the middle of filming, sweet Carol Channing completely fell asleep in her square. It was hilarious. The other thing that was really funny was Paris Hilton, while we were filming, decided to make phone calls, which normally I would say, stop tape, get that celebrity off the phone. But with her, it was so on brand for her, so we left it in.
But Michael, that's why you're a great producer. That's you got to ride that.
Well,
we have more stories with Michael, and he's working on also a great show that you have to see. More with Michael when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody.
Let's make it.
Welcome back. We're gonna have some more fun, dishy stories from Michael in a little bit. But Michael is also the executive producer of a...
I'm sorry, it is so hot here in Palm Springs. I'm so sorry. You don't want to be here.
Do you hear? Michael, do you hear the audience?
I mean, it's too hot. I wish I was in the cold.
Yeah. I love it. Michael, we're going to do more dishy stories in a little bit, but this is so good, everybody. Michael is the executive producer of a new show on TLC called Baylen Out Loud. Let's take a clip, and Michael will talk about it on the other side. Look at this.
My name is Baylen, and I have Tourette syndrome. Tourette's is a neurological involuntary disorder. Wind it up. It causes me to have sudden twitches, sounds, or movements. What the
Yeah. Michael, what was it about this extraordinary, I mean, you know, my God, do you know good TV? What was it about her that you thought, oh, okay, this is a story that needs to be told?
Well, first of all, everyone's talking about the impact of TikTok on our country, and I can tell you firsthand, as a creator, I'm having a blast with my behind-the-scenes videos going viral. But I found Baylen by being on TikTok, and when I saw her, how authentic she was, how brave she is to share her story. She went public because people were taking videos of her and making fun of her and posting it online. So Baylen wanted to control her own narrative and went public with her Tourette syndrome, and soon had 10 million followers. And I just love that Baylen was self-deprecating, not a victim. Even without her iconic tics, she is so funny, so smart, and I knew that she had so much more to tell the world in a long-form format. And so I approached her, we connected, we joined up, and together we sold this show to TLC. And in my 30 years of producing, I couldn't be more proud. This show is making an impact and helping people with all disabilities and helping people to understand what they go through on a day-to-day basis.
I think it's great, my friend. I do. And is it, Michael, because you do know good TV and you know how to walk the line, I would imagine for you, you're probably a really good gatekeeper in making sure, you know, some of these shows can be very exploitative of the subject. I'm sure it is very, how is it being the gatekeeper to make sure the world at large doesn't take advantage of this young lady's story?
Absolutely, Jason. I mean, every show I do has heart. If you look on my website, at michaellevittproductions.com, you see that everything has a feel-good theme. So I would never want to do anything that is train wreck television. And I really have to thank TLC because they have been amazing and so sensitive about getting this right. We've worked closely with the Tourette Association of America. We've all done our homework. Our showrunner, Katie Mose, by the way, is from Belgrade in your neck of the woods. I don't know what's in the water in Minnesota, but she is a phenomenal talent. Katie and I have done so much homework, working closely with the family to make sure that we are getting it right and that we are doing justice to Baylen and to anybody that faces and has to navigate their life with Tourette syndrome.
You know what it is, Michael? The extreme temperatures keep us nice.
There
Not
you
the
go.
water.
And hey, you have Melissa Peterman, our mutual friend Melissa Peterman.
Yes.
I mean, again, the talent is insane.
Michael, let's have a mutual, because we have about 30, and then we'll go to break and talk more. Let's have a mutual admiration society moment for Melissa. I mean, Melissa Peterman, good egg, isn't she?
Not only a good egg, but Henry Winkler would agree with this. She was probably one of our top 3 squares that we had on Hollywood Squares. She made the show better. So beyond funny, as you know.
When we come back, I'm going to nerd out one more time. Michael has a Knots Landing reunion question that I have to ask, plus more dishy stories about some of your favorite stars. More with our new friend Michael when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Don't forget to follow Michael on TikTok. We have a Britney Spears story coming up. Can't wait for that. But right now we're back with super producer and TikTok megastar and very warm Michael Levitt there in Palm Springs. Okay, forget the pomp and circle. Let's just get to it. I also love Knots Landing. People of my generation love Knots Landing. And one of the cast members was a Broadway star named Julie. The youngins don't sadly know who she is, but Julie Harris. Julie was a legend. She left the show, had some health problems. Michael, how did you get her to surprise the cast for this Knots Landing reunion?
Well, one of my greatest joys of being a producer is when I can put together a water cooler moment that people talk about the next day. And I try and do that several times in every show that I do. And I had known that Julie Harris had moved back east and that the core cast had not seen her in many, many years, and that they all revered and adored her. So I knew out of the starting gate that that would be amazing if I could engineer a surprise. So reached out to Julie. She was in good health. She loved the idea, but our challenge was to actually keep it a surprise and not have it leak out. And credit to the entire team that worked on the reunion, and it was spectacular. I mean, you can see their reaction. I mean, tears flowing. They were just blown away. And gosh, what a lovely lady. Julie wrote me a handwritten note after thanking me for the opportunity for her to get together with the cast again. And I believe that was the last time they saw her before she sadly passed. But one of the true great legends in Hollywood, and such an honor for a guy like me to have been able to put together and be a part of.
Yeah. Michael, please affirm to me, how damn good does Donna Mills look at 80 whatever? Can you, I mean, seriously?
I just had Donna, Michelle, and Joan about 6 months ago on a fundraiser telethon we did in Los Angeles. And they're still spectacular. They all came dressed in ivory white. They're still close as can be. They're lovely. But Jason, I have to tell you, as a producer, I learned about lighting women from doing that Knots Landing reunion, because those ladies know good light, and they did not accept anything less, and they would not hesitate to pull me over, go, Michael, come here, let's look at these lighting fills, and help me figure out how to light women well. So I am grateful to them for that education, and I would never not like those ladies well.
I love your we have a couple minutes left. I love one of the things you do on TikTok. Again, go follow them. We'll put up the information at the end. You do the naughty or nice. Let me ask you, because people ask me that, you know, when who's the nicest celebrity? Let me ask it in this way, because that's kind of a pedestrian question. Who surprised you either way? Like, who that you got to work with surprised you because they were nicer than you thought? Or who surprised you because they were just a little, you know?
Well, first of all, I want to say that I never do videos that are malicious
or do not.
Hurtful. I take it to the line and I stand in my truth, telling my own experience as a producer. My goal is just to have fun and give fans and followers kind of a sneak peek and a taste of what I deal with on a daily basis. So I'm not really saying who's not nice. I'm just saying who's nicer. Like Celine Dion, for example, is lovely, but I just clicked better with Mariah Carey. She was so much fun. So many great people. I mean, the truth is most celebrities are really, really nice. You know, maybe Christina Aguilera if you get her on the wrong day. But again, I've had good experiences with her as well. But yeah, I mean, so many great ones. Stevie Wonder, love Britney, love Patti LaBelle. I could go on and on.
Patti, you mentioned Britney.
And, Jason, the rule typically, and you probably know this, the bigger the star, usually the nicer they are.
Right? Michael, always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
It's always, no offense, it's always the youngins who, here's an old term, big for their britches before they earn it, and they have an attitude. Patti LaBelle,
Right.
Patti is one, when people ask me, on my top 5 of the nicest. I love her.
Absolutely.
Really, in 30 seconds, and people can watch it on the TikTok, you did the Britney Spears a special. You said she was delightful.
I produced her first 2 specials, Britney in Hawaii and Britney There's No Place Like Home in New Orleans. I had her on over 20 shows at her height. She was charming, lovely, had that $1 million smile, polite, thoughtful. I love Britney, and I'm always rooting for her. She's wonderful.
Now, before we go, Michael, the next time Donna Mills, Michelle Lee, and Joan Van Ark are with you, you best call me. I will jump on a plane.
I will FaceTime you.
Okay, I will jump on a plane. I don't care if I'm at work. Forget the show. We can put on a damn rerun. I will be there. Yes.
You got a deal.
Thank you. Michael Levitt, everybody. You can follow him on TikTok right now. It's a good follow, man. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Stay with us.